you? Be part of the Listening Radio every Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. to 12 midday for authentic conversations and sharing experiences on the brunch. For entertainment, join our Drive Time crew on Mondays for international and national sport updates. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays on The Drive with The Vibe for entertainment news and celebrity gossip. On Thursdays, entrepreneurship and mentoring. And to get you started for the weekend with top trending songs on the DJ's Vibe every Friday. All this from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy your Saturdays on the Fun Box from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for laughter, relaxation, and family moments. And no, we do not forget the little ones. Bedtime stories at 8 p.m. We measure our success by how we wow our customers and listening audience. Stay tuned, for this is Radio Fry Fry on 97.1 FM.
It's a new year, and your favorite show is back again with a bang. Say hello to Radio Fry Fry's mid-morning show, The Brunch, from Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. till 12 midday on 97.1 FM, live on our Facebook page, Radio Fry Fry, and on our website, www.fryfry.live. Experience and enjoy authentic, thought-provoking conversations on every reality. Share your stories and let's debate over great music and so much more wherever you are. On The Brunch, we talk about everything, and I mean everything.
Hello, good morning, and welcome once again to the brunch brought to you courtesy of Radio Fry Fry 97.1 FM. Of course, no say anything now, you hear this voice or anything now see this face, it means say, well, we can get some nice jamot, wow, and something wonderful. We won't forget a wonderful conversation. And before we go into all the things, and firstly, I want to say good morning to you. I want to say welcome to you. I want to say Perry. I want to say Seke. I want to say Bua. Any side you get that, I hope say they get a wonderful morning. And even though you already go down, they get a wonderful morning, because I know say not possible for me, they get a wonderful morning. And just in case it's not too as wonderful as you want it to be, well, don't worry. We have a lot coming your way today. We got Baku in the way they can learn from a lot of ways to inspire you and encourage you. So don't worry, just stay tuned to Radio 97.1 FM. Of course, this is an audio-visual radio station, where simply means say everything where you the hear right now. If you want for watch and watch you the hear, you for do them. All you need for do now for go on our Facebook page. Just go on Facebook, you write Radio Fry Fry, and you just click on the live feed, and you go see the whole conversation able for witness and for yourself. Simply go to the comment section after you don't follow the page and share your thoughts with me. Anyway, so we go straight into the program. Of course, say usually how we can do them. We can try our best for make sure say we start with God before we go into anything. So firstly, we won't forget the verse of the day. Then we will go to the quote of the week. So the verse of the day today, it come up from Ephesians 5:17 to Ephesians 5:15 to 17, and it says, See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. One more time at the reader again, it says, See then that you walk circumspectly. That word they circumspectly, what it mean? Say walk a fine. Indirectly, the best way for both are walk a fine. Make sure say you walk a fine inside this world. He said, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. This now the reason make we use the scripture also today, and because we want you for really understand what we topic there about properly. You know, there is a way, Bible say there is a way we do for work at this world where you go waste your time. There is a way we for work at this world. We all man go for God, thank you for you, and you will go watch. You go say, I really do well with my time. I make the most of my opportunities. I make the most of all the things Papa God be able for putting on me hand and all the resources that I've been get. So for make you not be that person who go watch back tomorrow and say, hey me, I waste me time. I make today they can get to a wonderful conversation. Also, we want to go quickly to the quote of the week. The quote of the week actually today, they come up from Carrie Underwood, and it says, successful people have a social responsibility to make the world a better place and not just take from it. I'm going to say it again. It says, successful people have a social responsibility to make the world a better place and not just take from it. So this is not the thing we can face in the world. We find out a lot of people in the world just want for like benefits. They think about, hey, what is Salon able for offer me? Hey, well, because Salon they offer me better thing, nothing. I don't go find one place where I will get within green and pastures. So what we go do? We go do temple one, we go do this, we go do that, we go do that. But this is showing you something. It's showing you that a successful man is not going to be a man made by the place he finds himself. It's a man that will make the place he finds himself. So you back, you get for you think about them. How are they able to create value for Salon? How are they able to attain true success inside this world? Well, for make all that one day come and make sense to we all. That make today, we get a wonderful topic we want for Rob Motpa, and that topic then are waiting. We topic for today, now time. We want to talk about time. Waiting at time, why make time important? Why we for pay attention to how we use with time? Is there a right way or a wrong way for make we use with time? Well, we can know all that day, better one today. And in order for make we able for know that day, we don't get one, like you say, Pancreas, we say we get one master Sabi person inside the studio today where I believe say na a result of maximizing time. The guy understand everything about what you need for can talk, but we can about time. So pay attention, pay serious attention if me and you, because just do like I do. Find what you take notes. You are going to learn a lot today. Today we have one of the I would call him a lecturer, but not just a lecturer. He's a man of a lot of wisdom in very, very important key areas, and he's serving at Lincoln. And he's not just there. He has so many other things he's doing. But we want to pass. I can't talk all the balance no more now. But he's no less a person, but Mr. Bashir Muhammad Idris. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you, and she said, don't see. I like person where the dress fine. He said the man on the dress in his suit. The man he say he relax. Me na me the pampu strength. I mean, you can't understand why make it relax. Anyway, Mr. Bashir, we want for like know a little bit about you. What you go for tell me about yourself, and also some fun facts.
All right. So thank you very much for having me.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate the invite. So my name is Mr. Bashir Muhammad Idris, as you rightly mentioned, and I am the Senior Manager for Academic Management at the Limcoco University.
Oh, wow.
I am originally from Nigeria.
Okay.
I also currently do my PhD in education. I have a master's in industrial design from our main campus in Malaysia.
Wow.
I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship, the young people, innovation, and how we can make Africa productive with all these skills, basically.
Wow.
That's my focus. Anything about young people, innovation, creativity, entrepreneurship, that's basically my passion.
Wow.
Yeah.
There could have not been a better person for this conversation. I am telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that for a fact. Anyway, okay, these are your passions. So how would you say? What would you say is a fun fact about you? What do you say? Maybe people might not even know about you, but it's the way you have fun. How do you have fun? Because you sound very serious.
yeah, and that's true. I am a very serious person, and unfortunately, I think. I lost, track of how to have fun, like the way traditionally, So my kind of fun is what people consider boring activities, like watching some educational documentary, sometimes figuring out some math questions.
Wow.
That's the kind of boring things I like.
I don't know why that is boring. being honest, I admire that kind of fun because
Yes.
imagine like we had 20% of Sierra Leoneans having that kind of fun. Do you think we'll be where we are right now? So like at the end of the day, we get for watch and Gladys say there are certain people out there, like people that like you day, we go able for show. We say fun no means say pass you come out, pass you go out, pass you go party. There are ways that you can enjoy yourself and be productive.
Yeah.
And that alone is showing me that even in you having fun, you are maximizing your time.
Exactly.
But anyway, it is well. We're going to talk about it. See why I tell you this guy is everything. Oh, he comes to this result. He has it. He has the result. So for us to understand time, we want to go straight into the conversation now. What will you say time is, if it should be defined?
Well, for me, in simple terms, time is referring to, the series of activities you do in the present that leads to the future.
Wow.
Right. So you're looking at, practically series of activities that leads to
The future.
yes,
Okay. One, what I don't know what his name is, but somebody defined time this way. He said that time is the progression of existence. He says it's the progression of existence from the past to the future. The existence is either a progression of existence or the progression of events.
Exactly.
So when you said the future and all of that, I'm able to understand exactly where you're going. You're going to. You guys seem to have a connection there.
Yes.
And this whole thing about future simply means it is a place you're going to, which means time seems to be like a journey.
It's a journey, exactly.
It seems to be like a journey.
I think that's a better way of
So simply when you have to put time inside box, you go say, well, time na like a journey.
It's seriously a journey.
That is why
speaking. Yeah.
Somebody said what life actually is what you do with your time. So at the end of the day, if you want to define life, you have to include time there.
Definitely.
So because life is also a journey.
Definitely.
So that is where the relationship is. That is where the connection is. Yeah. So if you know that this world right now, you have to ask question at time. Time to 1 o'clock. Time to 2 o'clock. Time to 3 o'clock. Time is actually what you they do. Say your future come. It's like your the progression of your existence. Just like that guy talking. So who's how your life starts? So who's how your life go for good? Now not time for you. You know for what you say time now. Yeah. 14 something BC, be the day. The best you can do is to define time from who's you day.
Yeah.
So time now for what you don't meet from where you born, where you don't from where they exist, all the different events that you don't go for you now the time down there. And till your future, and your future simply means till the time that your life will end. So these are the things that we have to look at, and if we look at time in that context, then we'll therefore think about very, very serious questions like so how now we they able for understand waiting na the I don't know the best way for put this question. Fine. How now they for understand now waiting na the wisdom way time important? Why make time this important? Because we don't talk say well it's the progression of existence or events. We mean say from Osai start to Osai end, that context in that time. So why is it important?
Well, first of all, time is important because everybody has a determined certain, time to live in this planet.
Okay.
And what you achieve, your success and everything, is within time. It's with time, basically. So everything, whether you succeed or not, whatever you do, it's within time. And the interesting thing about time is, I think, is one of the few things that God has shared equally among us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, everybody has 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's shared. You either wasted or utilize it properly. So it's really. I mean, to me, we know how important time is, right? Yeah. But some of the difficulties we have is the culture around time, the way we perceive it, the way we spend it, and basically. But time is really an important element in our life.
I'm going to like use a quote from William Penn, and it really struck me when I found it out. And he says, "Time is what we want most, but what we use worst." A lot of people don't understand. Say it is far easier to waste time than to maximize time. It's far easy for make you well the time people God give you than for make you make good use of this one.
In fact, in a lot of African countries, people say, they have this saying, let's kill time. Find a way to kill time.
I'm telling you.
There's this sayings like we just want to kill it, to waste it, because we don't have things to do
at the one time. This in fact that you just already took us there. It means let's just talk about it. There are certain things that I believe that this whole thing about wasting time and not using time well, it's someone can say, like I say now, it come up from just the fact that maybe you are not educated, or simply from the fact that maybe you don't have the opportunities like other people, because people usually bring everything to that place and say, you know what, the easy way make you feel bad, like I say, may not they do much now, because truth be told, may not be get the opportunity for go college like you, may not they go to host country like you, may not they do this like you, and all of that. So they're trying to say, I've been limited by my current life opportunities compared to you.
Yeah.
But the question is, that man way consistent now in farm will not get the opportunity for going to Malaysia. Now we see the waste time.
No, that's not. Yeah. So actually, I would like to touch a little bit on that to elaborate.
Wow.
I think, to be honest, culture has a lot to do with the way we perceive time and the way we waste it. Right? Culture.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I believe, when you look at a country, the economy of a particular country, how well that country is doing, when it comes down to it, it's all about the culture, the way people live and the things they believe in.
Yeah.
Their way of living. You understand? So you can, when you wake up in the morning, you observe, how do you spend your time? What are the things that you value? Your activities can easily tell how much you value yourself, how productive you are, by just looking at the series of activities you do every day.
Yeah.
So I think for me, right, there is a need for this change in the mindset that for you to be successful, it's all about education. Education is a major part of it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when you talk about economy, when you see these countries that are doing well, they are developed, it's not all about education.
Okay.
The way they utilize their time, productivity. Yeah. Economy is basically about productivity of a country, and you can't have productivity if you are not managing your time well. Right, as a person.
Yes.
So ask yourself, are you productive? Because that's where it starts.
Yes.
Right? So, our young people need to really understand that first, as a person, you are building that value. You are building yourself to create value, to be efficient. And you can't do that without managing your time well, understanding, like I said, when you look at your day, what are the activities you do? And how did you spend your time? It will tell you what kind of a person you are, what kind of value you add to the world, So if we want countries that are developed, we have to start with ourselves, asking ourselves, what is the value that we are adding to the world? Education is part of it, but productivity is another thing, right? Efficiency. And it all comes down to the culture. Like, you have an event, you are coming late, you are saying it's African time. And it's
Black man time.
Exactly, right? So, but what is interesting to me is when you look at these developed countries that we always, run to their countries because they have better living standard and everything. But when you think about it, they all have these things in common. They respect time, right? But we don't.
Yeah.
But we are expecting some magic from somewhere to come and save us, right? but without realizing that the productivity is what builds the economy.
Yes.
How can you be productive as a person if you are not able to manage your time? You only have 24 hours, so how much can you do? Not only how much can you do, but the quality of the things you do.
Wow.
Because you see, some people will just come to work, for example, and they are just passing time in their mind, actually. They come to work, they are being paid for that job to work. But in their mind, they think they are just passing time. They don't want to even engage in the work to add the value. They are just going there to pass time and collect
the money,
right? So, but you ask yourself when you wake up in the morning and go to work or to your business, what value
am I bringing?
Are you adding? Because that value is what develops the economy, the country, and yourself,
Wow.
And I usually say this to my students that, the funny thing about money, that, we all like money and everything. Successful people don't actually think about money, right?
Wow.
They don't think like literally every day money, money, money. It's the poor person that is thinking about where do I get money.
Wow.
The successful person is thinking about which value do I add in what I do.
Oh my God.
How do I maximize my time? They never think about, because when you think about it, the value you create in anything you do, you're a radio person, for example, you do all this production. Do it well. Do it to the best possible way you can. And you create success in that space, you understand?
Yeah.
More than anyone else. So it's an opportunity to do whatever you do, whether you're a farmer or a laborer, everything that you do. I watched a documentary recently about a lady in Japan that cleans toilets at airport. She has been doing that for years, cleaning, just making sure that everything is so clean. When I think she retired, they gave her some award, and the president, everyone, she becomes so famous by just cleaning toilet.
Wow.
And one of my mentors when I was younger was used to say that, and I still use that in my daily life. What is worth doing is worth doing well. Right? So if you want to do something, put your heart in it. Yeah, use your time well. And to me, one of the key things is you can't really value time when you don't understand your values. You can't value time. So let me explain, right?
Yeah.
The way we perceive value of time is totally different.
Okay.
Some people kill time because they don't see value in it. But some people are looking for more time. Many successful people actually know where to find money, but they don't know where to find time. Right? But the poor person is looking for ways to kill time. You come to work, you just want to kill time and go home.
Wow.
Instead of asking yourself, which value can I add within this time?
Wow.
Even if I don't have some task to do in my work, what can I do to add value to myself, to make myself more productive, right?
Wow.
And another interesting thing before you pose the next question is, like I always say, for me, in all honesty, Sierra Leone, when I look at the young people in Sierra Leone, they give me hope, right? That this country can develop into something amazing.
Wow.
Right? Why? Because I always say this. On average, if you look at average young Sierra Leonean, it's very smart. But because I travel quite a lot in Africa, I practically met, I would say, every African. Okay? I've been to Southern Africa, West Africa, East, and I met all these people. So what I observe is Sierra Leone, because of in my opinion, because of the population, it's very small population. So there is no much competition in anything. So people are kind of relaxed.
Laid back.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and that's what creates the issue of low productivity. Because when you have a large population like Nigeria, where I come from, you're talking about almost 300 million people.
Wow.
I usually tell my students, if you're looking for a wife in Nigeria, it's a big competition. Right? Because everything is about competition. To survive, to live, you go to Lagos, you see the kind of activities, like people wake up at 2, 3 a.m. just to go to work.
Wow.
Some people will go to work because they know there is huge traffic, right? If they reach office at 7, they will take a nap before the work time. They are there before the work time, not late. You understand? They are there at 7, at 6. So they will take a 30-minute nap before they start their work. Most people, that's how they live their life. So if you compare that, I think it's the population, right? To me, that makes people relax.
Wow.
Like, because there is no challenge, nothing, it's everything. This is a very nice country, right? You look at the landscape, there is a vast land. So, and there is no challenge. So people kind of relax. So, but the thing is, the young people need to understand that we live in a globalized world.
Okay.
You see a lot of foreigners coming in gradually as the economy develops.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone is developing.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, it's developing. Look at the infrastructure. Look at the many milestones in terms of governance and all that. It's developing. The economy is growing. But are you developing as a young person?
Are you developing?
You
Are
understand?
you growing?
Because you don't want to be, as a young person in this wonderful country, it's developing, the economy is growing, but the opportunities are snatched in your hands because people will come.
Yes, people will come and take it away from you because you are not prepared for it.
So the simplest things you can see is compare average foreigner that comes into this country. No need to mention any specific country, right? On average, you realize that the average Sierra Leonean is very intelligent, like I said. Because let me give you an example with Nigerians, right? A lot of Nigerians are here in Sierra Leone. But what I notice is most are just into like business. They are not really into all this education and stuff.
True.
But average Sierra Leonean is very intelligent and educated, right? But what is the difference? Is that mindset and the sense of time is different. The sense of time is totally different.
Wow.
So I normally explain this to my students. Your concept, your mindset about time needs to change if you want to be productive.
Wow.
How you perceive time. Because we don't perceive it the same way. Some people don't have a sense of time. So how do you develop your sense of time? Because if you don't have a sense of time, things will be passing and you will just be watching.
Oh no, that cannot be me.
So you just, you can see this when you observe the way people do things, right? There is no sense of urgency. There is no sense of time.
So that's
leave me, I will do it on my own pace. The world is not going to wait for you, right? You understand? So to me, to be honest, like if you look at life and success in general, time is a big factor, the way you utilize it.
Yes.
Because it's what makes you productive. You see, like the technical know-how that you go to school to learn, I always say, like, it's like the 80-20 rule. If out of 100% of the knowledge you learn in school, every day you only use less than 20% of it. Most of it is about common sense, time management, work ethics, that makes you successful. Discipline is another one. Because having that sense of time is actually a discipline on its own.
Yes. That's it. When you talk, Mad is going to curse me because I don't do lots of English. But anyway,
sorry, my Creole it's horrible. So,
but anyway, I like the way we don't bring them to family them, because you know, a lot of people don't understand, say, you concept on how you deal with time.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
Because basically, you just don't put time before we say, Nigerian man in a salon. Salon man in a salon. Mostly salon man and go school and educated.
Yes.
Nigerian man just to go into business. But still, the people, like I said, Nigerian man, they wouldn't more successful than the Sierra Leoneans, because the Sierra Leoneans just not get a far better hold on time as owner. Simply because una come on a very
perception of time.
Yeah,
yes.
Una come on a very competitive place for Ghana, a place where una not meet competition.
Yes.
But still, like the function with that same mindset, so when they capitalize on the opportunities they want they get. Once we now we get that, give me chance, give me time, give me time. And there are languages there are languages that usually will definitely take you away from the goals that you have in life. And some language then way you get for pay attention. So I can't go to them quick, but before I go into that, you said something wonderful again about time and value. A wonderful man said something. His name is Benjamin Franklin, and he says time is money. You don't say time will bring you money. Say time is money. So if you are poor, you have to ask yourself, why is time? why is time? Why is time in your life? So and a lot of people at that place, they want money, but they don't know what they are doing with their time. And they feel like, it's just qualification and it's opportunities. It's not opportunities and it's qualification. It's actually time, because opportunities are everywhere you go.
And you know what? The opportunities are within the time you're given. The opportunities are always within time. Look, opportunities are not out there. They're in front of you most of the time.
Yes.
Right now, as we talk now, this is an opportunity.
Yes.
This is an opportunity to craft your skills. This is an opportunity to make impact. This is an opportunity to sell yourself. Every single minute is an opportunity.
Yes.
It's the way you use it. So that's why I said perception of time is so important. For a young person, you have to develop perception of time. Because you know what it does? When you have a good perception of time, it has a way of eliminating things that are not important in your life.
Yes.
You won't see them.
Yes. You will not. You just can't.
You will not. You can't see them because you just zoom into
what you're doing,
the things that are important.
Yeah.
Because you have perception of time. But if you just want to do everything like at your own pace and you're moving slowly, do things, they ask you do this today, you said, I don't have time. But you haven't done anything the whole day. But you said you don't have time, right?
We're going to go to that one. We're going to go to these languages. They're necessary to talk about. But I really like the fact that everything you are saying is just going back to the very same scripture that we read. Where I was talking about, it says walk circumspectly and not as fools. Which means there's a way you can walk like a fool in this world. And it's just that you are not walking circumspectly. And how do you know that you're not walking rightly? Because circumspectly might seem like a big word. You need to walk fine. You need to walk the right way. The easiest way for you to know that is the fact that you are losing time. It says redeeming the time for the days are evil, which means waiting the devil want for take that you under your time. But we feel like,
that is very big. I'm telling you. It's very
what
big.
the devil wants to take is your time. I remember, something the book graph now they talk na church or something. They say, hey, the devil comes to steal and to kill and to destroy, hey, and all of that. But what would they talk we not meet up us with the devil don't kill it but we all the day we talk the same thing. Why? Because if you check what the devil is taking your time and you're finding yourself in the same
exactly. There is another saying that says what is it called again? The empty mind is a devil workshop. It's the ideal mind is the devil's workshop. So it's also about time. Because if you're sitting there doing nothing, the devil now will take over.
Exactly.
But if you have something to do with your time, you won't have time for all those things.
We can simply just take an example. For example, we have these people that are currently struggling right now, our Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters that I would say are struggling with this kush addiction. Let's check how many people are really engaged that you will find with kush. Most of the time, if you find people taking kush, if you check, these are the people that really they don't have what to do with their time.
And let me say,
they really don't.
let me say this, right? Our young people need to really take responsibility. We can't always say, and this is, I mean, a problem in Africa generally, most African countries. We have this sense of entitlement, right? And we don't realize that you have to take responsibility of your life.
Yes.
You cannot blame everything on government to say, the Papa government will do this for you. Papa government will not come and structure your time.
You know, guys, can I ask you this question? Do you guys speak like that in Nigeria?
No, I mean,
we're waiting for the president.
No. That's one of the things you need to. We learn the hard way.
Oh, okay.
If you sit there, you say you are waiting for government in Nigeria, you will die. I mean, you understand? So nobody, like people. For me, for example, I put myself through schools. Now I am finishing my PhD, for example. I did not get any help from government. You understand? Yeah. So the mentality is very important.
Yeah.
You have to take responsibility. And when you think about it, in any economy, the government is actually doing all this infrastructure work from the taxes they are collecting from the people.
Yes.
So actually the people are giving the government money through.
Yeah, by what they are doing.
So the people have to be more productive.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
So, I mean, if you have it the other way around where people are waiting for government to do everything,
then the government...
How do you build a country?
The government is handicapped.
Because most developed countries, more than 80% of their economy
is
comes
generated
from
what they are doing.
From the people. All the development you see is by the people. So can you tell me one country that is developed entirely by government doing everything? It doesn't exist.
You
understand?
Oh,
it doesn't exist.
So you know,
and it cannot exist. It's the people. The productivity of the people has to start from there. Level of productivity from you and me. Every day. Building things. There are so many examples in Sierra Leone. Wonderful, successful people that are doing great things.
Yes.
So see what is you're not. You see, it's the mindset. Like I said, right? You're not limited by. Don't think because you're a young person, or I must get a degree in law or engineering or whatever before I become successful.
So it's not qualification.
No, you see, many people in other African countries are doing it. That world, you see where our parents used to live, that mentality that I need to go to qualification.
It's done.
No, you have that. You from 15 years. If you have the right mindset, you can start a business.
Wow. Anyway, Fabul there. This is the Brunch show brought to you courtesy of Radio 97.1 FM. I want to make you know, say, we're having a wonderful time here. Just in case you self enjoy and you did learn a lot, please ensure, say, you reach out to somebody, tell your party, and party make them can listen to this program. I believe we are creating serious content. Very serious value is what we're giving out to you guys right now. So, of course, you know, this is the biggest radio station. We're not a joke. What do they do? We are very serious and very intentional about growth, development, and Sierra Leone. And of course, in this month, what they pay attention to now, we'll talk about civic responsibility and personal self-growth. And the way we're going to pay attention to this is by putting, like for today, we're putting our focus on one word: time. How for use them. And that's why we have Mr. Bashir in the studio today. And I don't want to make you miss out on us until you know we get money for go pay for go study in Lincoln. Lincoln is here. Come on, lad. Come on, lad. I'm telling you, this is very important. Make use of your time. You know, you said something that really struck my heart. You talked about these words. You talked about time, you talked about value, and you talked about productivity. Then subtly you introduced a democracy into it. You know, in Sierra Leone, we like to use this word: the government for the people, government of the people, for the people, by the people. All of these things is nice, but you know, every time we use it, it's in some kind. We use it like I say inside we mind. Don't need to think of now. Waiting the government for give to the people.
Exactly.
We don't use it like I say. We know say we get a part for play. We now we all give in to the government. And I like the fact that we talk and so just now say the productivity is actually going to help the country. Why? Because the government cannot provide for the country what the country is not generating. So
exactly.
And I make all of the events and say, oh, mother only the travel they go, only mother the travel they go, only mother. Why is he going to need to have to travel all of that? It's simply because we're not generating what we should generate here. Productivity.
You know, think of what you can do for your country, not what your country can do for you.
So at this point now, he has to be doing that. And with the vex say, oh, opportunity only for the citizens in our salon. what are you doing that should make him say, okay, this way you do so mean say, ma give you this contract, ma left them people that don't know his country. This is the thing, because what he has to think about is how Salon will go before.
Let me tell you something. I'm not a politician. I don't know much about politics. My areas of interest, like I said, is innovation, entrepreneurship, and all that.
Yeah.
I also like philosophy, economics, and all that. But one thing I can tell you is when you look at the reality on the ground in Sierra Leone, government is doing their best what they can do. Productivity is very, very low.
Very, very low.
You can't have a GDP when the productivity... GDP is literally domestic growth per capita, right? So if you can't have a high GDP with a low productivity, you can't have an economy with low productivity. And this productivity has to translate to you and I, like individuals.
Yes, individuals.
What are we doing?
You know, a lot of people will say and say now because jobs are not there. Because what we
So
hear
who is going to create the job?
They believe it's government too.
How? Where? Like, I mean, government, I do agree that government provides enabling environment.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
To, for businesses to exist and everything. And this is a journey.
Yeah.
Every country is doing it at their own pace and it's a journey. But you can't wait until a point where government provide everything before you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
The citizens are the ones that will give the government money. In reality, through businesses, through everything, that's how it works in other countries.
You know, I was talking to somebody just a few weeks ago, and me and him, we talk about this whole thing we can happen at the world where they see, go see America's begin for bring out these scholarships, say you can learn, you can study in our country and work in our country and stuff, and when they watch the thing and these men possibly talking, I say you sure say this young work in a season opportunity for work in America, for work land in America. You should an opportunity because at the end of the day, you have to look at there are certain patterns that we've been seeing. Most Sierra Leoneans, when they have the opportunity to go and study abroad, what they end up becoming is to go into the nursing fields and all of these things. And I'm asking myself, if there are citizens in America that are running for these kinds of jobs, will there be opportunities for Sierra Leoneans to go and fill those spaces? The answer is no. Which means what they are trying to do is to balance their system.
Exactly.
So you are seeing it like, it's an opportunity to go and learn and to work in the United States. They are seeing it like, we have to balance the structure of our country. If our people cannot do it, we are going to outsource. And you do not know that this thing that you are calling an opportunity is just an introduction to come and work for us. So that
and to be honest, nowadays, I mean, it's clear to everyone that knows what is going on around the world. Like, opportunities are here in Africa. If you talk about opportunities,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
The richest person in Africa, Aliko Dangote, I mean, don't even own any house in any foreign country. He does his business in Africa, in Nigeria, in Africa. So what are we talking about? There's so much opportunities everywhere in Africa. These problems we are talking about, the government is not doing this, is not doing that. These are the opportunities. What are we doing, in terms of our level of productivity to create solutions for the country
those challenges
instead of waiting?
Yes. We're going now to the languages. You see, this whole thing about time, we no one for accept say. Firstly, when you think about your perspective, as in how you think about time, because it's mostly how you think about time that will cause you to maximize it or waste it. So, of course, and the easiest way for know how good or how bad you did think about something and for check within the common emote about that very same thing. Like we have a lot of people, just like what you said, some people will say, hey, some more can burn time or more can kill time. And all of those things. There are other things you find people saying, like I need time. I don't have time. Give me some time. And all of these things, like when you say I don't have time, what does that mean? Especially when it comes to a place that you have been given an opportunity or a challenge has come and you should bring solutions. And they say, hey, come and do something. You say, I don't have time. Or worst of it all, you have been given an opportunity to do something, and instead of you jump on it now, you say, no, give me some time. Which simply means say you feel time for the wait for you, say you feel for me you can't do something. And you go, yeah, some other people that will not say, I don't get better time. Now you make unable for do this. But look at how all of those things are happening. The reason why I make you go to talk down the back, if you check, it means certain things have not been put in place in your life.
Yes, exactly.
They like today now,
yes.
when they meet you for something where you're supposed to provide solution for, you say, hey, but give me some time. But that person, they look for somebody who get the time now. So that is how the opportunity where you need, they pass you, go to that man.
You know, the funny thing is, I have seen one of my friends who is into construction here in Sierra Leone, was telling me a story of a worker, I think a bricklayer, right? And just to give you an example of this language that we use, this person was given the job to do, and he said, no, I don't have time today, let's do it tomorrow. He's literally paying him the money to do the work.
He said, pass tomorrow.
He said, no, he doesn't have time now, he will do it tomorrow. Those things should not exist in an economy that wants to grow, that wants to do it. It's an opportunity given to you, but you are saying, no, you don't have time now. You'll do it tomorrow. It's already late. I won't do it. In other countries, you will never see that because the competition is too much. You understand?
You know, a friend of mine went to Nigeria and he went to go shoot a music video. I will not call his name. He went to shoot his music video, but when he got there with the clothing and stuff that he wanted to do, people then tell and say, and this clothes we wear, you know, we'll find better for this kind of scene we want to make. So what we want to do, we want to make you get new clothes there now. But he's a very, very tall guy. He has an abnormal build. So you cannot just go to a boutique and just buy something for him. Most of his stuff is tailored fit because of his abnormal size.
Yes.
So he was like, I'm not going to Lamana, this, that. I said, don't worry. He said, just make them take you measurements and they get close. And the guy was shocked. Wait, he told me this. Even I was in awe. What did he say? He said, then take me measurements. 2 hours from that same day, the clothes then come meet me. 2 different clothes. Now then, so for me, 2 suits. 2 inside 2 hours in Nigeria. In Sierra Leone, when if we do that, we'll go and take our measurements. We are going to take 2 weeks. Now they beg the telamamba. They were able.
So you see, it's all about perception of time, right?
Yeah. When he told me that, I was like, wow. He said, what came out of his mouth when I asked him. I was like, hey, I imagine how the musicians over there are doing because I'm also into music.
Yeah.
And he said, as far as me concerned, any musician will left salon and go to Nigeria, they die. I'm like, why? He said the competition is too high. He said, by the time they write you song, man don't release album.
The pace is not the same.
The pace is tough. So you see, over there now, you see this thing we were talking about, redeeming the time that is in Ephesians there in chapter 5. You see, it is there. People understand the value of time. They are not like, they are maximizing time. They are making time produce results and produce stuff for them. Whilst we are still hoping that somebody will come and bless us in time.
Exactly. So let me just explain it this way, right? You know, the way you utilize your time, like I said earlier, it's really all about efficiency.
Okay.
Right? So watch successful people around you and see how they utilize time. You realize high level of efficiency. Right? When you know how to craft your time every day, there is time for sleeping, there is time for resting, eating, there is time for everything. But if you don't know how to manage your time, allocate time for everything, then you will always use that kind of a language, no, I don't have time. You make time when something is important, right? When that's why you need to, like I said, you need to know your value.
Yes.
Your value system. What do you value? Because you will always have time for the things you value.
Yes, you will. Definitely. That's why you see a man who stand in the junction smoking and he will be waiting for somebody to give him, hey,
let me give you a crazy example. Yesterday I'm currently designing a project that we're doing at the college, right? Okay. And I have a deadline.
Okay.
You invited me to this show.
Yeah.
But I finished writing the proposal at 4 a.m. I slept for a few hours and then came here.
Wow.
You understand?
Because of the deadline.
Yes, but I have to do it because I have a deadline. I finished writing. I actually need to go back and do some finishing and everything. But I finished writing it at 4 a.m.
Wow.
But I know I have to come to this particular interview. So I have to schedule it and see.
Some other people will have passed up on this opportunity and said, you know, I already have something to do, I have a deadline, please. And you know how you maximize the opportunity and you ensure you met the deadline.
So it's about efficiency most of the time. Like I said, if you look at success in life, the perception we have, or I should say our young people have, is that for me to be successful, I must have these degrees, that degree, and whatnot. But if in reality, that is only a part. How efficient are you? Your level of work ethics, the way you manage your time, your discipline. All these things are things that are real in life to build success.
And you see these things you called, these are the things that made most of the richest men in the world rich.
They are. Because it's actually, the research is actually there. If you check all the richest people in the world, it's not only education. Education is a component.
Some of them don't even have papers. Like, for example, Steve Jobs.
Exactly.
Man, he dropped out of school. He never get paper. So that is why everybody that graduated. So
that is why for us at our college we're advocating for a new change in education.
Okay.
Education should not be just about papers, right? And credential.
Wow.
It should build the potential of the human being.
Yes.
It should help you develop your potential to add value.
I can't wait for that though.
So that's why I was telling you, like, for me, when I come and see something like what you guys are doing in this radio station, I see value.
Wow.
Some will see a studio, but I see the impact you are making.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Programs like this, young people literally don't have examples to see. These are the things that will help them grow.
Yes.
They are listening to these programs.
Yes.
They are called programs for a reason, right? And they are forming their mentality.
Yes.
So these are very, very important, programs you have here. These are the things young people need to hear, believe in, grow, to create a better society. Not like the average young person. If you check their time, there is actually something on these iPhones they call screen time, right? So if you check most young people, you see that their life, the 24 hours is on TikTok.
It is
so it's distraction, basically.
Distraction, truly. With everything you are saying, and time is almost catching us. We have to go for a very short commercial break very soon. But I just want us to just touch on this matter, because when we come back, we want to just pay attention to one thing. We want to teach Una how for maximize Una time.
Yes.
And they really want to pay attention to look at the second half. And obviously, we are not say we have to open the phone lines, so we not able for giving a contribution. Just in case you're only tuning in now, this is Radio Fry 97.1 FM, and this is the Brunch Show where they talk about time. How for maximizer. But in order for make all the two don't make sense, I want for people to understand a little bit more about time. I want for more just talk about small bits the different characteristics of time. For example, one of the most important characteristics of time is the fact that time is actually involuntary. And waiting that go mean that there are actually four different it's actually considered as a fourth dimension, and people are not understand what to make the call the fourth dimension is because out of the other dimensions where you go be length, width, and height, you go see time at the only other dimension within the world where for some reason in now, unlike the other three, in they move for himself. For example, if you are talking about length, you can walk a long distance. If you are talking about width, you can find a way to adjust for that. If you are talking about height, you can try to climb a mountain. Which time you stop, you stop. Which time you are ready to reach. It's totally up to you. You have control. But time, even if you stand one place, time is still moving. Time is almost like when you're talking about the earth itself. If you stop, the earth is still moving. Some people are not, but the earth is actually moving, even though we are sitting down right now.
And some people believe that the time is moving faster now in our days. Right? It's not the same.
Yes.
So your perception of time has to always change.
Yes. So we have to come to the place where we accept that time is not waiting for you.
It's not waiting,
time is not respecting you. It does not care about you. And also we have to think about the other thing. Time is actually irreversible. Because there is nothing like when people say I will do it tomorrow. They feel like tomorrow is bringing you the same opportunity that yesterday brought. Unfortunately, no. If somebody gives you an opportunity today and you do it tomorrow, it is still not the same opportunity. Why? Because maybe the people that you will have access to yesterday will not be the people you have access to today.
But, exactly. But I also want to see something interesting relating to, the issue of time being irreversible.
Okay.
I just want to make that connection between your present time now and the future.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, because we don't have a sense of time, like I always say, we don't see the connection between the time you are killing now and the future.
Okay.
The things you do now have a direct correlation with what happens in the future, the future time.
Yeah.
So think about it. Time is so important because what you do with this time will determine. And this now, I think, with artificial intelligence and machine learning now, we're beginning to learn about ourselves.
Yeah.
That, the way we think, the things we do, our subconscious mind, help us to predict the future.
Yes.
All the information, everything we are doing now will determine the future. So that's why you have to be careful with your time. What is it that you are doing now?
Wow.
And I think it's all about that level of consciousness, right? To have a sense of time. That I'm not just here wasting time. I want to maximize it.
So basically, we have just 2 more minutes. I'm just going to run through the characteristics quickly. But as we come, we are going to help you guys. So, of course, another thing you have to think about when it comes to time is required. It's that time is actually required of you. It's a requirement. You cannot be here without having access to time. And everybody that meets you is asking for only one thing. They're not even asking for money when they ask you for money. They're asking you for the value of your time when they ask you for 50,000. Because that 50,000 did not just fall in your pocket. It is time that brought it to you. Either time invested in a relationship that made your father give it to you, or your friend gave it to you, or in an office that have qualified you to actually be paid a salary. So now you can say, hey, let me give you 5,000, let me give you 10,000. It is time that you are giving to people. So, and if you check, the other people are actually requiring other things from you. Like, for example, you have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend, you have a friend, you have the church, your mosque, everything you are doing is requiring time. Hey, come to church, come to the mosque. Everybody's asking for that. So another thing you have to know is that you cannot, time is immeasurable. You want to say you are measuring time, you know what makes it impossible? The facts say, you cannot look at this man and know exactly how long he's going to live. I cannot look at myself and say, I'm going to live. You can't. It's impossible. So the fact that you know that you cannot measure time means you must maximize it now, because it can end just like that. You can just wake up tomorrow and you're gone. It's just like that.
That's very important.
So if you don't have that mindset that it is very possible that I can still die tomorrow, even though I'm young, you will not know that time is so important. And of course, you have to understand that time is also absolute. You want to talk about it being an absolute something. It's the fact that time is constant. It's not going to change because of you. If it is 1 o'clock, it is 2 o'clock, it is 3 o'clock, it's not going to be 12 o'clock because you feel like finishing your assignment at 12 and everything else is going. You say, I need more time, let me stop the time quickly at 12. I do everything and I continue the time. It's not going to work like that. It doesn't care about you. Time is going to continue whether who you are or who you are not. And also, you have to think about, oh my God, time is also a dilation. The only thing we make our for us about this is because even though we have time with the talk with small, we need to have VOA coming up very soon. So you know what we're going to do? When we come back, I'll just read this quickly and then we go straight to helping you guys. Stay tuned to Radio 97.1 FM. It's always a wonderful pleasure being here with you.
Now you can send mobile money with no sonko, only with Afri Money. Ilé you want send 5, 10, 50 or 5,000 leons or even more with no sonko. Yes, anytime, any day, every day, any side you in a salon, free with Afri Money. No go outside and the pinch pan the lily where you want send. Avoid sonko. Use Afri Money. Dial *161 *1 # for send mobile money free. Afri Money to Afri Money. For no more, call 161. Afri Money. No sonko.
Use Afri money for free. No sonko.
Mitchell Group of Companies is reliable, competent, and trustworthy in providing quality service to its wide range of clientele. Through Mitchcom, we provide premium internet service, secured data connectivity, VLAN and VOI over stats and fiber to mining industries, enterprises, hospitality industries, banks. We also provide fiber to homes, point-to-point and satellite backup for Freetown and provincial regions. Through our Michelle Security Agency, called MSA for short, we provide a wide range of services that brings safety, security to our clients. Our services include Staff Guard, which also includes access and control room, customer service security, roving, mobile control, and many more. For more information, visit our head office at number 10I Sasame Lewis Road, Freetown, or call +232 73 554 616 or 232 32 554 616. Michelle Group of Companies. We are the leaders.
More and more people.
It's a new year, and your favorite show is back again with a bang. Say hello to Radio Fry's mid-morning show, The Brunch, from Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. till 12 midday on 97.1 FM, live on our Facebook page, Radio Fry, and on our website, www.fryfry.live. Experience and enjoy authentic, thought-provoking conversations on every reality. Share your stories and let's debate over great music and so much more wherever you are. On The Brunch, we talk about everything, and I mean everything.
Hello and welcome once again to the Brunch show, brought to you courtesy of Radio Fry 97.1 FM. Of course, Una no say me on him Lawrence Hedd. I want to say good morning to Una. I want to also say, well, Imperi, Seke, Bua. This is wonderful. Today we don't talk about a lot of wonderful, interesting things there inside the topic of time. Of course, we're not saying inside this month, where they pay attention to civic responsibility, and we also they pay attention to within self-growth, self-development. We try our best for help everybody in Sierra Leone from over before Canada place over before see the connection. And now the connection simply this: if you're not better, salon is better. Now the only way than the easiest way for do am for make sure so you pay attention. Say instead of I wait for make salon better, make me better first. But what they do, whatsoever they focus on, make a do am with all its rank. Not to buy the use opportunity again. Waiting at the opportunity within now, my user say I reach usa I want for go. And through that day, you go find out, say, you go for help, Sierra Leone for go. Why? Because if your business they go, it means the salon economy they go. It's that simple. Why? Because whatsoever you they bring out, now from the government they get tax, or they add to they do for duty for salon. So you see. Anyway, long story short, we'll try our best for lectures. Come back into the wonderful conversation. But when we're going to that conversation properly, of course, we usually go and start from God. So, we get with verse of the day, where they come up from Ephesians 5:15-17. And it says, see then that you walk circumspectly. Again, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. This last part where I talk to now, I'll be better to the first time we'll talk. Understand what the will of the Lord is. What does that mean? It means that we as Motamanda will forget focus by what they do. One of the reasons why you can't really redeem and maximize time is because if we check, we get people like we say one for do. They start this business today, tomorrow they start other one, next month they start other one. They're just trying different things all the time. But this is the thing, everybody that has been successful in this world, they have not been trying different things. They did one thing, they paid attention to it, and because of the success they had in paying attention to the one thing, they were able to expand into other things. They're not because they do no more. Today this not work, I go to that. Today this not work, I go to that. No. You have a focus. And when you have a focus, you will find out that what? You will walk circumspectly. What does that mean? It means you go work fine. You go for take the right step then at this life. We go make you go for redeem time. You know, could be that kind of person where all the time they go meet you say, hey, I don't get time. hey, I need time. Time not enough. Or your language will totally change. Why? Because you'll be a productive person. Why? Because you know how to maximize time. And also, we won't forget the quote of the week. The quote of the week today, they come up from Carrie Underwood, and it says, successful people have a social responsibility to make the world a better place and not just take from it. This is the most important thing. You're not just a come for take from salon. The question we for ask yourself now, what are they bring to salon? What are they able for create for salon? What are they for give to salon? If you are that kind of person, you will find out that your success will know no bounds. Why? Because you are a servant, you are a provider. You ever find out saying that he's the picking the leg for DBN, the papa there? Why? The papa that the provider the family. He had to make picking we don't like him papa. Say he go freedom. But he go really like a why? When daddy comes, gifts come. See how the thing there? So it's wonderful for make you be a citizen where also they add to society and economy. So of course we'll go straight into the conversation. What will we talk about today? Not time. We topic today not time, and of course also be working at the studio at the now a very wonderful personality when I know less a person. But Mr. You can introduce yourself again, sir.
Bashir Muhammad Idris.
Yeah. Fine. We're then also with Mr. Bashir Muhammad Idris. It don't teach you a lot about time, and me are glad bad. That the land, just in case you there out there, and you, as I say again before, if you don't say you not get money for rolling Coin, can with your book and pen now, you can learn now. This is Lincoln sitting here. Yeah. Anyway, so of course we were talking a little bit about time, and we can't open the phone lines and quickly. I just want to run through the characteristics of time quickly. I stopped at time being a dilation. And the easiest way for understand this whole time being a dilation thing is, people that get this day where they can talk, say there are citizens, there are sadists in life where they feel like I say time they slow, time they feel like say time they fast. You ever notice say anytime you always time, if you feel like time they slow. Then the time when you really want for maximize time, we get bokuting for do time, they go no more, they go source. I say, but time, me time. You got it alone, they show you say, truly not to say na time they slow down, if you for be honest. It's just the fact that your brain, your brain and they put you at that place. Why? Because if you're very busy, you have a lot to do, and the brain is processing a lot at that time. So if you feel like time not do.
Yes.
But that time when you not get nothing for the brain, casual, you just try make time reach for me. Go do time not they go. The time when they go outside, if people like I say the time stop or the clock when they work fine, or you need to buy new battery. Simply because at that time you are not busy, your brain is all at work, you are very lazy, or basically they do nothing, you are in a very casual state. So time is also dilation. There's something called dilation in time, and then they help you for understand how the brain they work in relation with time. Where also they show you say if now somebody we're very busy, therefore take this into consideration. Time go feedback, like I said, they're going away now, and because you get a lot of things then for do and all of that. So these are things you have to pay attention to. Another thing is the fact that time is actually subjective. So when they say time subjective, is like you're talking about the fact that there is this variation in human perception where they help you foresee the opposite. Say sometimes where time they slow down, and sometimes where time they fasting. Not to just based on just your mind, but based on the situation where you find yourself. You have to understand, say, this. What do you mean by subjects in like some kind of circumstance or some kind of situation where you find yourself? When seem for the determine how fast time they go, how much pressure you get, and all of those things. And time gets away where it relates indices in the day. And of course, there is this thing called the arrow of time. The arrow of time, they try to help you for just pay attention to the simple part where, of course, we'll talk where we define time. We'll say, well, time they start from the past and they go to the future. There is nothing like we will make a clock where you see clock can get that circle. Time not actually they in a circular mode. Time they in a straight line format. From the past to the future. There is nothing like that enough for me could just able to get a proper understanding. Say time they go for today, now make them make that circle day, but my understanding that's not really how time works. Time is working very circumspectly. Actually they go straight. Now outside they go, now they go. So we have to pay attention to all of these things. We don't understand and think there are so much time. These are the few characteristics of time that you must pay attention to. We don't understand the characteristics of time. It will help you for understand say that is a lot you must do to maximize it. I'm going to just remind you of the things we talked about. We talk about the fact that time involuntary, where means the time they move, whether you care about it or not, you not get no way for do that day for or change that day. You get the fact that time very irreversible. Where believe say Mr. Bashir they help you for understand say Mr. Bashir, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they try for help people understand. Say, what do you do today? Now they give you what you get tomorrow. So if you not sow the right thing today, tomorrow result you get for Siam. So there is no thing like, hey, I wish I not been do this the last year because of the result we see tomorrow. No, there is nothing like that. Bible says, say what you so what you so now they reap. So now so no more you get for B. Then of course, time is required. Women say all man want to all man really want from it would be told that time. If person they ask you for money, as I say, that time and they ask you for, if person say, hey, come be married, that time they ask you for, he say, hey, can I be program? Basically, I called you here because I needed your time. So you see, another thing is that time is immeasurable. You can't really measure time, especially when they talk as they come up from the context of a human being. Why? We all have a ticking clock, but we don't know how the clock is. You don't know when I will drop. I don't know when you will drop. We all listen to ourselves. We don't pray, say, Papa God keep we all from bless ourselves and help ourselves for as long as He wants we for. But my understanding, anybody can go at any time. Then at the same time, time is also waiting absolute. We talk about that day, and we will say time absolute is simply means say there is no way that you can change things in time. Like for example, if you do something and they don't give deadlines in at 12 o'clock, you forgive. You don't do the assignment. Say 12 o'clock don't pass. Then you're not able for done. I say, Amy, I wish I would for reverse the time, or it's or might just keep the time now. So say I done. They are one. I say lecture. Not to say go late. So anyway, work that way. Of course, we don't talk about the time dilation and the subjection and subjective time and all of that. So these are the things you should pay attention when we think about the characteristics of time. Now we want to talk about how for help you for maximize time. But even as we go into down there and also the second half of the program, we usually they open the phone lines for make you able to get for me it will be a part of the conversation. Call, ask questions, also make a contribution. And today we get an engagement question. The engagement question simply like this: why make we for respect time? Call and on the number 0889719171 and you can make your contribution. Why we for respect time? In English, why should we respect time? The number again for call on is 0889719171. Remember, you can save that very same number then on your phone and also call me via WhatsApp. We go, I believe, say go help you for able for really express yourself more than how if you call direct call sometimes, you know. We all understand that situation. So please call on the number 0889719171. So even as we wait for that day, take the call. Please remember, I said this program here so well. The radio station will get a slogan, and the slogan simply is: you talk, we listen. We don't talk today. Now, young points for me, you talk now, we can listen. And most of the time we talk, that's simply for make you understand the context of the conversation. So when they call, you self able for make your contribution easily. So call on the number 0889719171 and be a part of the program. Yes, sir. So we want to talk a little bit about how for maximize time. How possible for properly engage time? How possible for do that?
All right. So there are a couple of ways. One, it's important that you first get your priorities clear for the day, right? Meaning, what are the major activities you have to do for that day? Okay. Priorities. It's very important because when you know your priorities for every day, it helps you to maximize your time. Because if you don't, then many other things will come into the time, and that will limit the amount of time you have.
Wow.
Okay? So to maximize time, you have to get your priorities clear. For today, I want to do 1, 2, 3. These are so important. It helps you to maximize the time that you have and to avoid distraction and all that. That is one. Secondly, there are some tools, some ways that you can use to learn. Like some people will do a to-do list. Some people will use what they call time boxing. There's so many different ways, but the to-do list is simple. You just kind of wake up in the morning and say, these are the things I want to do, because it helps you to maximize time when you know this is exactly what I need to achieve today. Okay, and to avoid distraction, because what limits the time is a lot of distraction. Focusing on, because sometimes if you don't really pay attention to the things you are doing in relation to productivity, you might end up spending the whole day without doing anything. Just because you go to work does not mean you have done anything.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
You go to work it doesn't mean you have done anything. It's about productivity.
Yeah.
What have you produced? Ask yourself every day. Let me say it in another way, right? It's about completion. You have started something and finish it. That's the idea of productivity.
Wow. So if you do not finish,
no, it's about completing that task. To say I have started this today, it's done. That's productivity. And how much more can I do?
Wow.
So it's important to have that priority.
Okay.
What is the most important thing for today? Let me get it done first, then second, then so you maximize your time.
Yes.
And avoid distraction. Yeah. Another thing is also don't allow distractions. If people learn to say no to things that are not important.
I wanted to talk about that. You have answered that.
Don't say yes to everything, because that's the way of killing your time.
Yes.
Limiting your time. You can't do everything. On top of that, also, you need to learn to delegate things. If, for example, there are things that you don't need to be doing. Like, for example, you have brother or sister that can help you. Or if you have money, you have a cleaner or house help.
Yeah.
Don't be wasting your time cleaning your shoes when you have a house help. Okay? You understand?
Oh, no!
You can utilize the time for something
else.
So you understand that. Depending on the level you are in, know what you can do and what you can delegate.
Yeah. Oh, what you can do and what you can delegate.
So that maximizes your time. Because if I try to do everything, everyone comes, I say yes. Okay, can you, like, when I am at work, I everything is scheduled. I can't just attend to anyone. I have my day scheduled. Yeah. Right? So you can't just bump in and say, can I talk to you for 5 minutes? No. You understand?
Wow.
And you can't just show up in my house unannounced. I'm doing something, okay?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And that is something we have in Sierra. People just appear at your house.
That's why I said it's culture, right? It's culture. It's culture. So you are doing something. Somebody just show up and start calling you for 30 minutes. But you don't want to say no because you think this is your friend or this is your relative. But they are wasting your time.
Yes. Yes. True.
And time is money. Right? So get your priorities right for every day. Once you get everything done, then there is time for relaxation, the time for sleeping, resting, time for family. There is time for everything. But when you're at work, focus on that. When you're doing your business, you see some are doing business, but they are on their phones. The customer is there. You don't even care that cost. You understand? You are there to do business, so focus on that.
Wow.
Because that's the time you need to use for that day.
Yes.
Not to be on your phones doing something like you're just killing time, and then you think you will be productive. How?
True.
You see, the concept of productivity needs to be understood.
Well,
just because you go to work or business, like I said, does not mean you have done anything.
Oh.
Check yourself. Are you productive?
Wow. Wow.
What have you done for the day? How significant is that?
You know, a lot of people don't pay attention to things like this. Anyway, Fabulous back again. This is Radio 97.1 FM. Of course, me, your name is Lawrence Hedd. Adinayaso with Mr. Bashir. Mohammed
Idris,
yes. Mr. Bashir Mohammed is the Idris. We talk about time. We really want to help you more about time, but please, we want you to also call on number 088-971-971. Please call on the number 088-971-971 and make your own contribution. And even as you make your contribution, I want for also make you say, well, please, not forget, I want to make you continue for help with us celebrate Radio Friday, because of course, we are the biggest radio station right now in Sierra Leone, and not just for right now. We are not joking. just sit down, they watch them, or just they watch. We're going bigger, and the reason why we are going bigger is not because we want to just make a name for ourselves. It's because our goal, we own pursuits now. So what will they focus on now? For empower the salon man, no matter outside they. I make we not just grab to say they do something for YouTube. Why? Because we want to make, if you didn't upline, you didn't have free tongue, you didn't inside, you didn't have salon, you're able for benefit from the content, so that's what they carry it. Why? Because it is important for make, if we say we want to grow as a people in a salon, we pay attention to all man rather than some man. which is why we are doing this. So please feel free for also make you party know about this program here. So the brunch show, we also get a drive show. We can come sometimes in the week, and mostly the most important thing, as we say, now for help we all for grow as individuals and as alone. Because me na so and Fry definitely we believe say if one salon man they grow, so that salon they can go. If we all na salon they go, na salon they can go. Not to pass we say government do something or person do for we. If we able for come to the place where we put salon and we aid, and as we put on our shoulder as we own personal responsibility individually as citizens, them trust me when I tell you the next 5 years something that would have gone, but we're not going to go again. So now and they make we do this. So stay tuned to Radio 597.1 FM. We definitely can talk more about this wonderful topic when at time. Of course, Mr. Bashir, we don't talk a little bit about priorities and in maximizing time, ensuring that you have a schedule where they make you know say you for maximize the time small, and also you somehow I see come inside talk a little bit about discipline because he talk a little bit about discipline. Although but for me you go inside that discipline side is small.
Yes.
Oh, hello. Yes, good morning. Your name and inside the call from? Okay, sir. How are you?
Hello?
Yes, sir. How you do, sir?
We talk about time. I'm very much happy about the time we talk about time. Me, na farmer, the evening now, I'm a farmer, the plant me granada, but I dey work on time because with man they say time and tide wait for no man.
Yeah.
So I respect time. I dey do everything by time. I dey don't plant me cassava. They say sand, but the time we start come on our plant me cassava, I dey plant me granada. So I'm very much happy. I can listen to all the time. I constantly listen to Radio Fly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. You see, these are the kind of
It's
examples. These are the kind of examples we need to use. So, some officers will talk about time. The only person we go related to something I'll get that office job. But you see, he was able to say like this na family me they do. But this very same principle that they apply onto my family when they make it.
Yeah, but also what is interesting is with his example, right, is to see how time relates to nature.
Yeah.
Because farming has time.
Yes, there's times to
There's
sow.
season,
Yeah.
there's time. If you don't plant in this time
you will
it will not wait for you. It's time.
Oh, wow.
So that's why the farmers are very disciplined with time.
Yes.
Because they know, they understand nature and how time. You have to follow the time and nature.
So you see, if
for the productivity to happen.
Yeah.
So that's another example.
If nature is respecting time and you are part of nature, who are you?
You know?
Who you be?
so I like that example from the farmer.
Yeah, it's very important. Whoever guys on the place so all in a salon they accept it. You see, if farmer able for relate with them, and of course, as you say, you don't connect the dots, the plants, the art, everything. Nature is respecting the law of
There's time.
Nature is respecting
For germination, the seed to germinate, for everything, for harvesting, there is time.
It's time. So we say we get for pay attention to her. And I was saying again, I would love you to have gone a little bit more into the discipline side.
Discipline, yeah, exactly. So it is actually, this could have been another interview on its own.
I'm telling you.
To me, I am so passionate about the topic of discipline, because if you check some of the reasons why people fail or succeed, discipline is one of the main reasons.
Yes, true.
In life, when you talk about success and failure, discipline has a lot to do with that. And the reason why discipline relates to time is because it's in our perception of time that we apply the discipline.
Wow.
Without discipline, time means nothing.
True.
Without the discipline, if you invite me here and say come at 10 o'clock, I will come after 2 hours after.
Wow.
Because there is no discipline, right?
Yes.
So discipline is so important in our lives, because you can't even apply time to anything if you don't have discipline. If that farmer does not have discipline, meaning following the law of nature, the principles, he doesn't have the discipline to follow that. He won't be productive. So if you don't have discipline in your life, you cannot be productive.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
So discipline, in short, is so important because it's what helps us to be productive. Most people that fail, you see many smart people, right, with degrees and everything, but they are not disciplined. They say, come and do this at this time. They'll do it whenever they want. The opportunity will go. Because you're not disciplined to follow certain principle, to follow time. So you cannot appreciate time and apply it if you're not disciplined.
Wow.
Right? And that's something, if you talk about civic education, to me, and productivity, and how this relates to economy, that we really need to understand, especially young people.
Yeah.
Our young people are not disciplined.
Wow.
Nowadays, we have a big problem of, short attention span.
Wow.
Like somebody cannot even read a page of a book. They are always on their phones, right? If you cannot talk to them within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you understand? So it's a big problem. We need to understand, while you're busy getting education, a degree, please understand that these are very important life skills.
Yes.
You have to be extremely disciplined to succeed in anything you do.
Wow.
Whether it's money you want or whatever, you have to be disciplined. And it's a journey. When I meet with some of my, mentors and people I look up to, they always challenge me to see, like, I can see the gap.
Yeah.
I try hard, but I want to learn. I want to stretch myself and see how much more can I do in terms of discipline.
Yes.
Because these are the principles of success.
Yes.
Time management, discipline, hard work. That's another thing. Right?
Yeah.
But if you don't have all that, time will not mean anything to you. How can time be important when you are not disciplined?
I just learned, because a lot of Sierra Leoneans, long and short of it, based on the economy now, I see a lot of young people, especially young people now, gravitating towards this thing we call entrepreneurship.
Yes.
A lot of people want to start selling stuff, having trades and stuff like that. But while you were talking, it just make I understand something. Like every trade has its season. Like there's a time that certain things will sell better.
Yes,
There is a time that they will not sell better.
Of course.
So it's very important for us to have a framework, understanding exactly the trade that you want to go in, understanding the best times and for that business and the bad times for that business, and ensure that you, of course, just like the whole
there's season for everything.
Preparing for the farming season and preparing for the harvest season. You can do all of that, but even when you have been able to have that clearly spelled out, without the discipline to maximize the time that is to be productive, and the time that the business will be slow, knowing what to do in those times, you will find out that the business will still crumble, even though it's a productive business, simply because maybe the time you are applying serious efforts is the time that the business is not actually supposed to be as productive as it should be, based on the kind of business you are doing, because there are seasons in the business. Or worst of it all, maybe you even do the business in the right season, but you're not applying the effort that will actually
exactly. So that is what I wanted to explain, right? I think young people need to really understand this. Just because you are busy does not mean you are productive.
Okay. Wow.
You see people running around like they look very busy, but they are not productive.
Oh my God.
Are those people maximizing their time? No.
Wow.
So just because you are doing a lot of activities, activity does not mean productivity, okay?
Oh, wow.
So we need to get that. Are you productive?
Wow.
So like you mentioned, everything has season, right? So we need, and that relates again to time. And that is all about, it relates to your awareness of time.
Yeah.
These things, they become part of your awareness. So you have a sense of urgency in everything you do.
Can you please break down this word productivity? Because you have used this a lot today.
Exactly.
Can you please break it down so that at least we go for understand? When they say, hey, you can be active but you're not productive. When we say you can be busy but you're not productive. What is productivity?
So your ability to complete a certain target or task, right? To complete it, to produce. Productivity is from produce, right? So it does not relate to only object,
Okay.
but task also.
Services.
Okay, you have a target. Today I want, your boss wants you to do 1, 2, 3. But you spend a lot of time thinking about those things, researching about those things. You're so passionate about it, but you're not doing it. You're not achieving the results that is wanted.
Wow.
So it's different. Somebody will come and get the job done quickly, that with less knowledge than you, because they are more productive.
Wow.
But you have a lot of knowledge, but maybe because you're a process-oriented person, you're not result-oriented, and that's another thing, right?
Wow.
So I have learned this when I was younger. Like one of my mentors used to explain it this way. There are two types of people when it comes to productivity. There are process-oriented people and result-oriented. So some people think because they are doing a lot of activities, I have done so much at work today. But you're not productive.
Oh my
Because
God.
you are process oriented. You're just thinking about the process. Oh, I need to do this, this and that. But a person who is result oriented is productive.
Wow.
Because they want to make sure things are done.
Yeah. This is for my life. I'm learning. I'm really learning. I don't know, if you're out there, they're not learning. I'm feeling bad for you.
Never ends.
I'm telling you. Please, call on the number 0889719171. I want you to be a part of this conversation. This conversation is too electrifying for you not to be a part of it now. Call on the number 0889719171. Try your best for save me. I can say save the number on your phone so that you go for call me through WhatsApp and. It go better that way. I believe you go for really express yourself, just like how the person we call just now. Please feel free for call because we want for hear from you, we want for you with yourself to learn, and we want for also learn from yourself. Feel free, yeah. Of course, we talk about time, Mr. Bashir. Really teach me a lot today. I don't really teach you a lot today. There's something else I believe that can cause people to like waste time, and a lot of people they pay attention to that. And this is the fact that you are somebody that is seeking validation from men. A lot of people they don't know saying when you put yourself in that position in which you want everybody to confirm everything you are doing for you, everybody to support what you are doing. It means you are spending too much time on the opinions of men rather than time being productive in what you want to do. So tell that person they say yes, it's nice. Tell that person they support you. Tell that person they make you feel good about what you do. Most time don't go, and most of it all, the fact that you're that kind of person means you can be easily manipulated out of your time. That person the way they able for take you out of your time for me, you do that thing for yourself. Whilst you wait, you wait for me validate what they do. And unfortunately, successful people are not like that. They're not looking for people to validate what they're doing. They already know what they want to do. The best thing they can tell you is partner with me. This is my idea. This is where I'm going to. This I already know how I'm going. I just need somebody to fill these shoes. That is exactly how a goal-oriented person should be. And that's another thing about people that waste time. If you check, they are not goal-oriented. When I say they are not goal-oriented, I simply mean there is no fixed goal in everything they're doing.
They are not thinking about the end goal.
Yeah.
They are just thinking about all the spotlight.
Yeah, they're thinking about the fame,
validation. So which means they don't actually have a goal.
Thank you.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you can't go anywhere with that. It's a waste of time, basically.
And that is the thing. If there is no goal, there is truly no roadmap.
And that's why I said earlier, without values, right? And that's like the goal, in other words. You can't appreciate time. You can't value time. Because with a clear value and goals in anything you do, everything else is secondary. That is your major focus. All the noise, everything that people will say, you won't bother. Truly, you can't even hear it.
Yeah.
Because you are focusing on the goal.
Wow.
You see that?
When you're talking about that, this thing just came to my mind there. There is this saying, I just even heard it, and it says, time is money.
Yes.
And today I was really thinking about it. I was asking myself serious questions because unfortunately, this program has been one of the things that God has used to bless me. When I say used to bless me, I don't come here and sit down to talk about things that I don't want to apply. Exactly. If I'm thinking about it, that means I have been applying it, and that means to a certain extent, maybe there are things I'm also learning that I have not yet applied. So it helps me to put and piece things together. And I was thinking today about this whole concept of time and time being money. And I was, and then we just talked about time being immeasurable.
Yes.
It's not something that you can really measure. And then I thought about it. Is it even possible for somebody to pay you for your time?
Well,
Because at the end of the day, time is immeasurable. That's one. Two, at the end of the day, time is not like, let me say, if I want to pay you for your time, it means I know you have specific amount of time and stuff. But you can put somebody on a payroll and say, you know what, I'm going to pay you for your services in this, and this is for the next 5 years, and that person can die before the thing ends.
So the thing is, you have to understand that, yes, you can pay somebody's time, right? But it all depends on the value they are providing.
Okay.
So your time, the value of your time as a person depends on
how much value you
provide. Some people you can't pay for their time. It's not possible because
even if you want to.
They provide so much value. So much value. So that's why your time and my time cannot be the same.
Okay.
So that's why I said earlier, to somebody that has no value that they are offering, time means nothing.
Wow.
To somebody that is providing a lot of value to society, time is expensive.
Wow.
If you want to see the president now, you have to be on the waiting list, right? I mean, you see that because their time is expensive.
Wow. So that means in order for you to be influential or powerful or significant in the world, all you need to do is to increase your value.
Look, I said it earlier, right? I said it earlier. Understand this, and this is a simple principle of life. It's like law of gravity. You cannot succeed in anything without understanding this. Money, fame, everything that comes in life is through the value we create, we give to the world. You understand?
Yeah.
So the focus should be on what value can I add?
Wow.
Which problem can I solve for this person?
Oh, wow.
Because even if you open a shop, you are selling things. You're adding value because you are making those commodities available for your clients.
Wow.
In a different way, you are solving a particular problem for them. You're constantly thinking of adding value. Wow. So you see people around that will complain, I don't have money or I need money. But you look at them, right? What value do they have?
Wow. You know, another thing we should talk about when you talk about this whole value thing is, you know, you have to think about this thing. You know, when you talk about time, you have to talk about how much time you have. And I've heard about a lot of people that say time is not enough simply because they have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
I myself, I was grumbling about it one of these days with somebody, and somebody told me, he said the only reason why you're grumbling is because you have not yet properly planned your days.
Yes.
You get up in the morning, you know that you have many things to do. You just tell yourself, I'm going to do them. You have not said, you know what, at this time I'm doing this, at that time I'm doing that. So at the end of the day, you can say I've finished everything because there is a clear schedule as to how I'm doing it.
It's because, you know, look, it's very simple. Yeah, anyone that tells you I don't have time, it's because they don't have their priorities structured. We always find time for things that are important. When you invited me to this interview, I have my things scheduled, but I came because I know the things I will say
will help somebody.
Yeah. It will make impact. So it's important. I decided to come. But I have other meetings that I was supposed to attend. But it's about priorities. We always make time for things that are important in our lives.
Yes. And another thing I believe people should pay attention to also is this thing. I believe that's the only thing in this world that is as valuable as time is relationship. Why am I saying that? You see, it is possible. I believe this. It's possible for a man to do anything he wants to do. In fact, I believe it's even in our holy books. Anything you want to do, you can do it. It's there. The only thing now is this. You know, if everything in this world you want to do it yourself, you have to waste a lot of time learning everything. That is why if you check, there is somebody that is an expert in accounting, whilst there's somebody else as an expert in medicine, whilst there's somebody else as an expert in media, while everybody has their place of expertise. Why? Because because that person alone cannot spend all of their time learning everything they need to learn to do what they want to do. Why? Because if you say, I want to, for example, I say I want to start a company now, and I myself, I want to understand how the secretary should function, how the this to function, and I want to perform all of those roles myself, I would die.
Of course. I mean that's why they say your network is your net worth, right? Because and it's also interesting because you can't make relationships, I mean, over time. Right? It also, relationship, by the way, is about reputation.
Okay.
So it comes back to value. Because you can't build a relationship with bad reputation.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
You can't. It's not possible. Those people will just because people know you, they laugh at you, does not mean they will be of help to you when your reputation is bad. Nobody will want to associate with you when you. That's why you have to guard you as a young person. You have to protect your reputation by all means, because that is your net worth.
Wow.
You will have a lot of friends, but if your reputation is not good, they will become useless to you. Nobody will want to. Yes, you have people, but how many good relationships can you build that can... How many people can you call when you have a project or something to do that will come? And be willing to sacrifice and put their money or their time. How many? It's in the relationship you build. And it always comes back to your reputation. Your reputation is related to your values. If you're not somebody who is productive, you don't have any value. You can't, there is no substance to create a relationship with anyone when you are not valuable in society.
So you can be valuable with a bad reputation and not be able to increase in value simply because of that reputation.
Exactly. You understand? I mean, you see many people that are intelligent, smart, they know a lot of things, but they go nowhere. Right? They go nowhere because they have bad reputation. They cannot create relationships, you know. But they know everything. They are so smart, but they can't go far.
Wow.
These are facts of life, right?
Yeah.
So
this is time.
So you have to be careful. Every person you meet, you have to be aware. You have to be conscious about the kind of relationship, the reputation you live.
Wow.
The perception. And time is also part of, ruining your reputation. Wow. If you are somebody that always comes late, nobody will want to do anything with you.
Okay. Okay.
You understand? Okay. Like, if I know you always show up late, why would I want to do something serious? Let's say I get a big opportunity. I have a position, I have an opportunity, a lifetime opportunity. And then I want to do something serious. I happen to be appointed in some big position in a company or politics, and then I remember you as a friend. But then I remember, this guy always shows up late.
Wow.
But he is smart, so what do? I won't consider you because I don't want to ruin my own opportunity.
Oh no.
Because of your sense, the way you treat time.
Yeah. Wow.
You see that? So it's a time. The way we respect time has a lot to do with our reputation. People will simply trust you because they know you keep time. And it relates to your integrity also.
Wow.
They say, this person is always on time. So it kind of projects integrity because...
Yes, it does.
You see that?
It does.
And, they say it's a responsible person. When we invite you, you are always on time.
I'm happy we have gotten to this place where you're talking about being on time, because like we know we Salomon, I feel like I said we not one agree accept say we don't fail too long and too much on this one green thing. Like for example, we have programs and we want late, we get class, we want late. Well, I don't want to talk about certain things. I would have used an example, but that example, if I use that, it's not fine. But like, we have a lot of things going wrong in Salon simply because we are not taking advantage of time. We like, for example, now just use this example. I didn't go far better. Let's take it that you invite me to your program, and you say it's going to happen at 4:00, and I show up at 4:00. then the program not starts till 6:30. What in that they indirectly mean? Firstly, it means it's an insult. You telling me that
It's
as far as you concerned,
It's disrespect.
actually idle. Because you don't take and say idle. Like make we don't tell me say come, I will car wait till you start 6:30. Then I will wait back till the program done. Well, of course, obviously, if me or somebody were responsible, if you tell me 4 o'clock, I am planning my day. Okay, 4 o'clock to 6 or 8. I wait for GAM so that I will can continue to do from this time to this other time. But you now sitting down and just expecting my time to just be available to you like that unlimited simply means you're either telling me that I am idle. Like, I don't understand what people are doing in Sierra Leone. And when you do that and you make that a culture, like for example what we are doing now in Sierra Leone, what that simply means is that you are slowly encouraging a generation to be indisciplined. You are slowly encouraging a generation to be lackadaisical. You are slowly encouraging a generation to not be excellent in anything they are doing.
Let me put it in this way, right? I mean, you can tell how much a society takes itself seriously through the culture of time, right? I mean, you can tell that we are not taking ourselves seriously.
Yeah.
Because other countries, they respect time so much because that's how you can see, that's how people can take you seriously.
Yeah.
If you're always on time, people will take you seriously. People will respect you. They see that you are a responsible person. But if as a society, we have a culture of disrespecting time and lateness, what does that say? It says that we don't take ourselves serious as a society. And how do we want to be respected anywhere? It's ridiculous, right?
and that is the thing. Most of the opportunities we are looking for, if you check, literally at least 60, 70, sometimes 90% of Sierra Leone man, we are looking at opportunities internationally. We are hoping that some kind of opportunity will come from us, the United States or England, like that or something. And these people are very time and goal oriented people. They are very time conscious. You can't say I want to work with somebody in America and they say we have meeting 1 p.m. and you are calling in 1:30. Say, hey, I'm sorry, I'll be late. Like that's a lot of people want us to understand. I know that is one of the biggest downsides of, I would say, Africans today. We try to get people to understand our side too much. We don't understand that reputation is built by not wanting to be understood, but understanding first. Like we try to do this thing in which we use our situations to create excuses.
Exactly.
And because we're expecting you to understand, rather than knowing that, okay, if I'm working with you and this is a business or this is an organization, I should understand firstly that the business has a reputation and my personal life should not hinder that. So I'm not for the expecting, because rain come, I can come to the office late simply because it's rain they come. Unfortunately, this is rainy season. Everybody should expect that rain they come. If you don't prepare already, you can't meet me. Tell me, say I'm sorry, I can't late because rain they come.
That's very important, actually. You know. So and that's the situation. Somebody will come and give you excuses. But when you challenge them as the business owner or the organization, they feel
you don't understand.
Yes.
You don't care about we.
Exactly.
You don't get humanitarian feeling. That's so talk the way they're so unethical.
Excuses.
I'm telling you. And they know how to like play the victim. Like you are just the one that is just being too much.
It's just excuses, and we have this strong, the thing that bothers me the most is this sense of entitlement.
I'm telling you. You spoke about it,
entitlement, because it makes you extremely unproductive.
Yes, it does.
Because you are just sitting there, feeling entitled, like somebody somehow should do something for you. You are entitled to it. You don't need to do anything.
Oh my God!
You understand? So, we need to understand the concept of time and how important it is in our lives as it relates to our future, our success, everything that we do.
We have to. We must.
The things you choose to do within your time now are so important.
Yes.
The things you choose consciously, that I want to do this, you have to be very careful in what activity you engage in.
Yes.
If you spend 5 hours, 4 hours on social media, on your phones, and then you're praying for God to bless you with. I mean,
You know,
understand? Like, isn't that really
the blessing will slap you? It's just like that, you know. It's manna from heaven.
So, yeah, exactly. So these are practical things that I think if we really, our young people pay attention to, you know, in the next few years to come, we begin to build productivity in our society.
Yeah.
We begin to solve our own problems. But right now, we're just sitting, waiting for other people to come solve our problems. Isn't that sad? You know?
There are a few different. I kind of placed a category of few different people in Sierra Leone. Where I say which Salomon they don't fall into. I just bring them out because I want to help you. Maybe just you think who's one pound that you fall in. I pray say not fall into none, because if you not fall into none, that simply means now we all depend and change the society. Now we all the press right now for personal growth, civic responsibilities being properly handled in this country. We're looking towards seeing economic growth. The reason I talk this is because you cannot expect big responsibilities to fall on your shoulders when you cannot handle these basic ones. Like, for example, it is your responsibility as a man to take responsibility for yourself first. Now, if you don't take responsibility for yourself, how can a generation that is supposed to come after you expect to benefit from you? Think about it. Because I've been talking about this the last time. I said it clear. Firstly, the way the world works, the generation that before are the ones that makes the room for the generation to come. Now we are here. We have a responsibility to do the same for the next generation.
Exactly.
We are enjoying what the last generation has done, but we're not taking responsibility for the next generation, which has been the problem.
Yeah, and I want to narrow this particular point to the culture of time. The previous generation basically laid the foundation of this type of mentality about time. It's culture. And we are passing the same thing to the next generation.
I'm telling you.
So we need to kind of
change that now. Change that now. It got for arts, but we should do it. We have to.
To me, everything it's the culture, like I said earlier.
It's the culture.
If you are always showing up late, it's part of the culture. It becomes normal.
Yeah.
We normalize it. It becomes part of the way we do things. We must challenge those norms and say, no, this part of culture is not good. We're not doing this.
Yes.
This part of culture is good. And also you personally. Because sometimes as a young person, I think it's helpful for you to introspect and ask yourself, your environment, your tribe, your culture, because these things affect you. Because it's the way where you live, the way you live, which is the culture. So you need to ask yourself, how do I live? What are the things that are affecting me from, just things that have been passed from the previous generation, and I'm just following those things. Like, as they call it, a dogma, right?
Yeah.
These are things that don't help you as a person.
People just talk about it and they make it
exactly.
like this.
So you need to ask yourself, is this something that that helps me? You can change it. If it's normal in your society to be late for every event, make it your own personal culture to say, for every event, I have to be there at least, 30 minutes before the event starts. And hold yourself accountable for that.
Anyway, time don't bet we now. We don't even go above time. We apologize because of that. Well, of course, you associate yourself know how important this topic has to be. And being honest, I myself here, I'm learning. And I just put somebody out there also they learn with me. And even as we do that, I just want to give, of course, I say give honor to honor is due. I forgive Mr. Bashir the opportunity for saying last word to me. Then me I just left Una with a different category and I pray say the last one. Then go be the one where you go find yourself inside.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for the invite. I mean, this is also an opportunity for me to share all this with a lot of young people, and I mean that's my own way of making impact. Because these things you never know. Some young kids, they are growing up, nobody actually sit them down to explain these things to them. So you never know who will hear and how it will impact their lives. So it's a privilege and honor to be here.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
That's great.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you too. We are honored to have been learning a lot from you. I'm praying for more opportunities to learn from you like this. I'm hoping that we'll have you again someday. And also, even as I'm saying that, I want to just, like I said, I just want drop this one with you, and I pray that, as I say, I hope saying at the last one, they go find yourself. So there are 4 different men I want to introduce you to. First, you have the tomorrow man. The tomorrow man is the man where always, if you find him, you ask him something. Hey, do this for me. He's like, okay, not done for you tomorrow. Next time, or hey, just give me small time. I will call you Usta for that. And these people, most of the time, if you find them, these are the people that you hardly find productive people around. Why? Productive people are very time and conscious and goal-oriented people. They don't need people that will drag on their time. So they will always find that person will go able to do the thing on time, rather than you will feel say even if you are the best, you will be somebody that will be passed on just because you are not disciplined in time. And of course, you get this other person and call on the traditional man. The traditional man in just a man where in don't get a perspective on how things then for be. Like for example, if you are doing business and your business is, let me take for example farming, and now you don't do, and the way you meet people do, and so you want for doing. One thing you have to understand is it's not a bad thing to take a business for a business to go from generation to generation. The only thing now that will be bad is if the practice of the business stays exactly the same. Why? Because there's this thing called evolution. Things grow. In fact, time is actually a change agent on its own. As long as you are functioning in time, you are supposed to be subject to change. What means say, if you check everything we been there before, it don't improve. First, now been pan lamp will be the use. Now we they use electricity. In fact, first most of the tube they in a salon generator. Now most people are not even they buy generators self again. Everybody they hope say lights they come. And for me you understand say before nobody not be think, but then in fact pan lamp itself na be invention. Before pan lamp na be candle. There's so many things. Life has been going from stage to stage because of time. So if you do business, if you do this, you do that, you say so you meet to prepare the door. I want you to know, it not means that the only way that they for door. But if you know that kind of Monday, what they also mean, it also means that you will not be able to maximize and time, and you will not be able to increase in value, because time should be able to influence change even in you. Then also another thing we get for think about, so the third man winner, the man on the fence. The man on the fence, and that man where it get a lot of potential, it get a lot of things going on for her, but you're not able to take advantage of opportunities them. For example, I believe say Mr. Bashir will talk about them guys that way go say then get serious the sabi of good seeing them, but hardly go see them able for go far. Sometimes it's because of bad habits, sometimes it's simply because these people are indecisive. They never for say this now really I want for doing my life. So now because this is what I want to do, and the roadmap is what they follow, I'm going to use this opportunity to get there. But some people they want so many different things that they don't for take a decision where they keep on the fence, stay the opportunities they all pass, and you find and say them at the same place. Please don't be that man. And lastly, now the man of the man of excellence. The man of excellence simply are that man will understand the principles of time, understand what he wants in life, and understand how to maximize in goal and time and in relationship. Forget what he wants in this world. So if you know that person there, I pray say we all want to talk to right now, now the fourth man, the man of excellence. You understand the principles, you already get a fixed goal what you want to achieve in this world, and also you know how to maximize your relationship then for make you able to see results. Please, I pray say we already listen to me so now that person there. Why? Because we want to be productive people, not just for ourselves, not just for our families, but also for Sierra Leone. So say we dey meet back. My name is Lauren said I did also with Mr. Bashir Mahmoud Idris. Yeah. And we also want to say thank you for listening to we. Stay tuned to Radio Fry Fry.
It's a new year, and your favorite show is back again with a bang. Say hello to Radio Fry Fry's mid-morning show, The Brunch, from Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. till 12 midday on 97.1 FM, live on our Facebook page, Radio Fry Fry, and on our website, www